Now, with me, right at the outset, is the excellent Russell, I was going to say Russell Brand, Russell Quirk, political commentator. Not a good day to be called Russell, is it?
It's not a good week to be called Russell, no, that's for sure. That is for sure. So, so look, YouTube, as you say, the kind of, the wheels are turning to kind of cancel and get rid of Russell Brand altogether. And I think we need to be very, very careful here. I mean, not only because, and I know this has been very well worn over the last few days, the kind of whole innocent till proven guilty thing. We know that trial by media effectively is guilty until proven innocent. It's the other way around.
Sort of, yeah.
Well, it is.
That.
And look, I
don't think this is trial by media.
Look, so Russell Brand may well be, and we do not know yet, be guilty of impropriety. We don't know that yet.
He denies it.
Yes, but the fact that, you know, this has been under investigation for months, if not years, and the fact that it's only now, only just gone to the police yesterday, I think is curious, I must say. But the fact
No. I mean, the thing is, just on a technical point, these four women who made the allegations in the Sunday Times and on dispatches on Channel 4, none of them actually went to the police. I think you can understand why it can be very arduous,
yes, completely,
and traumatic for women to go to the police about rape or sexual assault. Yesterday, a fifth woman went directly to the police. So the police can't act until they get an official complaint. They've got that now, and so Russell Brand is officially being investigated for inappropriate sexual behaviour by the cops.
My concern is not the women's right not to go to the police, because, of course, as the documentary well stated, you know, there are lots of reasons for them not to do that,
really
in terms of how this is perceived. You know, they've got family considerations. I completely understand and get that, but I think we've got straight back into a situation where the majority of people, it seems, will think that he is guilty without there having even been a proper investigation. He's had his right to reply. Obviously, he went out 2 nights ago and kind of protested his innocence. But history recently, Kev, is littered with the innocent that were perceived as guilty and then proved innocent. Kevin Spacey is probably the most recent example. Ted Heath, of course, who didn't get to clear his name before he died. Cliff Richard, Paul Gambaccini, Harvey Proctor.
No, sure.
I think we need to be very, very careful that if he is innocent, his career is already ruined.
Yes, but I reject the idea this is trial by media. This is a brilliant investigation. It took 4 years by the Sunday Times, the Times and Channel 4 dispatches. It's a massive story. On a purely journalistic level, cynically, I'm going to say this. It's a great story.
Yeah.
And the definition of a great story is a story that everyone wants to read, and everyone wants to read this. So what this emanates from is an extremely thorough and impressive investigation, the results of which Russell Brand denies. But those papers and Channel 4's dispatches, they are there to be sued by Russell Brand if he says that they've told lies about him, damaging lies. I haven't seen anything from him so far. So this idea, trial by media, it's like any time there's a story, criticising some kind of famous person, politician or a celebrity, because trial by media. It's not. It's the newspapers covering a good story.
It is, but what would be wrong with that investigation taking place and then it being handed over to the police for there to be a proper investigation?
They have done that.
No, but only much more recently, not when the results of the investigation by the Times, Sunday Times and Channel 4 was known, which was several months ago. All I'm cautioning is this could happen to anybody. You know, if it happened to Kevin O'Sullivan and you were...
Only a matter of time, mate.
And you were you had the finger pointed at you, so to speak, and you, in all good conscience, were innocent. You'd be thrown off the show. You'd be thrown out of TalkTV towers, even if you were innocent of any wrongdoing. Just because perhaps, I'm not saying this is the case, perhaps some had it in for you for other motives.
Yeah, as I say, this is nothing really to do with Russell Brand, but it is interesting that he is quite clearly locked firmly in the cancellation process. And the cancellation process, no matter who the victim is, always takes the same form. And what happens is it kicks off, the allegations that hit the papers or the newspaper, the radio or the television, and then the first thing that they get dropped by is a charity. A charity drops them first, then the management, and then they start coming for them in terms of their finances, and not forgetting, of course, that Russell Brand's chance of getting hired by a TV company is now, I was going to say next to zero. Isn't next, it's zero.
No, but Kevin, a cynic
zero.
might say that that's less about their conscience, the likes of YouTube's conscience, and more about they have to ensure that from their PR department's point of view, they are seen to do the right thing. They are seen to do the right thing. No, look, I'm just cautioning. And of course, the conspiracy theories are already out there, and I don't subscribe to these, but the fact that, Russell Brand has nurtured this 6 million cult following almost, in inverted commas,
it is a cult
in order, and this is the conspiracy theory, in order to potentially in the future, as in now, cover his tracks in terms of this alleged bad behaviour. I mean, look, I don't subscribe to that, but you can understand why, as a kind of outspoken anti-establishmentarian, long word, that some might think that he's being got at a little here.
Yeah, and by the last point about him, he contends. He said, it seems like a coordinated conspiracy attack on me by the mainstream media. It's like, Russell, you're not that important. It's not that. They've got 4 serious allegations that add up to an extremely compelling story. It is nothing to do with the mainstream media being threatened by you, because compared to the mainstream media, you're just a pipsqueak.
Amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent.